In this video, we will be doing the review of the Diadem experience of this NRSV updated edition translation brought about by Cambridge University Press. This is an honest review of this Bible sent to us for free by Cambridge University Press. All thanks to Miss Amanda. Hi, this is Christopher Nino Arca of the City of God Ministry, Archdiocese of Manila, St. Augustine Bible Ministry, Inc., located here in Manila, Philippines, and you are watching our Bible review program. Hope you guys don't mind me plugging in our book, which is Josephology, a concise biblical exegesis on St. Joseph. Grab your copy now and support the ministry and also the Seminary of the Merciful Missionaries of St. Joseph. So please do hit the like button, type in any comment, and finally subscribe to our channel as well. Don't forget that notification bell also in order for you to be notified of our future videos as we upload them real time. So going back, just a brief background. So we experienced a lot while we were waiting for this much anticipated yet to be published Bible. I do believe this is to be published yet by the end of this month or maybe next month. I totally forgot about that. Maybe Miss Amanda could refresh me as well. I have been very persistent asking, when is this Bible coming out? I think I can very well remember telling Miss Amanda, and also during the review that we did with the popular text edition of this same translation, the popular edition of the NRSVUe, that the popular text edition is actually comparable to the dimension of the Diadem, and that having a Diadem edition of the NRSV updated edition would actually be an excellent one. There is always something about the Diadem edition that actually differentiates the Bible among the rest. For me, Cambridge does it best. There is what we call the Diadem experience. So more to that later on. This Bible comes with the clamshell box with an executive treatment. What do I mean? There is something with this color combination and the color theme that somehow brings out an executive feeling. The box of the NRSV Diadem combines the aesthetic experience of the popular text edition box and the Diadem design box. The similarity with the shade, let me show it to you. The similarity with a shade of red in the theme. The Diadem is well advertised as a reference edition, which the popular text is not. Both editions are in black Calfsplit leather, as what Cambridge sent me. As you can see, I can't wait to see the hardback edition of this Diadem also. We will know the font as we go deeper into the copyright page. Next, look at the detail at the back of the box. If you want to read the specs, you can pause this video, and you can see also here we have the ISBN number and the link where you can actually purchase this Bible. The box design is special only for the Diadem edition. And look at the face of Jesus with the crown of thorns carrying the cross. Now let's take a look at the Bible itself. Like all Diadem, there is the standard for its size. With the cover, we have 8 3/4 inches long, 6 1/4 inches wide, and exactly an inch thick. And that measurement is with the cover and not just the text block. And here we have 2 ribbon markers, double-sided, red, and this measured in excess 2 3/4 inches, where the popular text edition only has 1 ribbon marker. Gold gilding here is classic. No other art gilding. And as you can notice, this is Smith sewn bound. We have the head and tail bands, color red and yellow gold. Like my ESV Diadem, this one is also a calf-split leather cover. And also the same with the popular text edition. Let me just show it to you as well. This is the popular text edition of the same translation. So we have the Holy Bible, deep stamped in front. At the spine, we have 5 semi-raised spine hubs. And here we have the gold works in the spine, Holy Bible, NRSV Updated Edition, Apocrypha by Cambridge. There are no perimeter stitching here. But instead of the perimeter stitching, we have tooled line. But I think the perimeter stitching is a feature of the goatskin edition and also the calfskin edition of this same diadem. So their aesthetic construction of this Bible, this Bible is rather exquisite. The scent of the Bible leather, it smells rather good. The texture of the calfsplit is evenly grained. The same with the popular text edition and the ESV Diadem. This Bible comes with the centuries of craftsmanship and limited warranty. The rough texture of this calfsplit leather actually provides a nice grip and hold of the Bible if you want to hold it, and also as you preach from it. And as you open this Bible, you will be looking, what you see here is a vinyl liner. And the corner work is actually really nice. So as we open the Bible here, we have blank pages of cardstock, and also we have the presentation page printed on a cardstock. We have family records and children, marriages, and we have grandchildren here, marriages and deaths. Here we are in the title page, first and second. Moving on to the copyright page. This Bible is yet to be published this year. I think May or June. Someone can correct me. Printing details are here at the bottom. Like this one is typeset in 8.2 on 8.5 point lexicon. Paper supplied by I don't know how to pronounce that. Printed and bound in the Netherlands by Youngblood. And here we have the table of contents. Now this to the reader section can also be found with the popular text edition, as well as the preface to the translation, the NRSV updated edition. And this chronology of rulers that we have here is not actually in the popular text edition, as well as the preface to the NRSV. Sorry about that. The chronology of rulers is not in the popular text edition, but actually is exclusive only to the Diadem editions. Even these abbreviations, the next part, and now here we are in the text doc itself, in the Old Testament. Look at the classic layout design. Sorry about that. Look at the classic layout design. We have 2-column paragraph format, 2 columns paragraph format, center column references, translator notes. Let me show to you the translator notes. Down at the bottom, right column. For those who actually love the NRSV translation, here now you have a complete set of references for the NRSV updated edition. The popular text edition does not have these reference notes at the middle. What I love here is that Cambridge maintained the translator notes of the popular text edition. Let me share it with you. We are here in the first page of Genesis. And as you can see, this is the popular text edition. These are the translator notes at the bottom. And as you can see, it is also showing here, although the font size of the translator notes, it's quite smaller. There. Again, please bear with me. I'm just repeating the font size of this diadem is 8.2 on 8.5 lexicon, while the popular text is what? It is a 9-point font, 9-point on a 10-point Sheris SIL. As you can see, they have to make the font of this diadem quite smaller because of the reference notes, but nonetheless it is still equally readable. For me, it is still very readable. As I said earlier, that this diadem has a smaller font, and as you can see, the lettering space, the space in between the lines, the space in between is also quite small, but this, like what he said earlier, this is still very readable if you ask me. The paper, the paper here is quite the same. The paper here is quite the same. The creamy color. This is the diadem. Let me share with you the paper of the popular text edition. The paper here is also creamy. I'm not sure though about the GSM of the paper here, the diadem, but the difference in the paper is that the diadem paper has a coating feel to it. It is way smoother than the paper of the popular text edition. The page number, let me just now get into the details. The page number is aligned in the inner margin, while the page contents is aligned with the outer margin. And we have 62 lines in a full column. 62 lines. And 45 characters per line, including spaces, punctuation marks, and special characters also. So, and because of the coating of the paper, I'm not sure if it shows here in the camera, there is a glare of sheen when it strikes the light. But definitely you can see it with the naked eye. I'm not sure why it's not showing here in the camera. Because the texts are evenly line matched, ghosting here is not actually cumbersome. Only when there are spaces right here will you see the line of the next page being shown. Let me show to you what I'm talking about here in the book of Psalms. So since there are spaces, you will see the line underneath the next page. But as you can see, the layout here is the same with all the diadems. What made this text different from the popular text is that the popular text uses a British text, while this diadem is not. And so for those who are used to the American text, this diadem is actually for you. So what I love about this NRSVUe Diadem is how they differentiate and presents the apocryphal books. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is the title page, the dividing page between the Old Testament and the apocryphal books. This is how they are presented. Compared to the popular text edition, that's not how it is presented. Let me show that to you. So here, in the popular text, we have the Apocrypha, and then here we have full identification of the apocryphal books and some explanation. While here, it is presented differently. And just for an example here with the book of Tobit, I'd like to show you how the books are presented. Here in the popular text edition, in the book of Tobit, there is the explanation above. Going back here in the diadem, I opened the pages of the diadem here in the book of Esther in the apocryphal page. Now this is the note presented here in the diadem, and I would like to show you how differently it was also presented in the popular text edition. Now what I'm showing you here is that there are just a few differences in how the texts are presented, but the text block is still the same. Everything, of course, the diadem being in the diadem, which actually uses the American text. Now, here we are. Here in the popular text edition, sorry about that, the Book of Esther, the note is differentiated with the note here being one column, while in the diadem it is showed, it is being presented, that it being included, with the column, the left column. Now, what is unique also to the diadem is the maps. The maps relevant to the apocryphal books, which the popular text does not have. Here in the diadem we have the maps relevant to the apocryphal or deuterocanonical books, while in the popular, like what I said, in the popular text edition, there is none. It does not show anything, just the divider that divides the apocryphal books with the New Testament. And so moving on, in the New Testament here in the diadem, as I flip the pages, this is a black letter text, meaning to say that the words of Christ are in red. But my concern would only be that the size of the verse numbers, which I should have told earlier, is still very small, tiny bit small, just like the ESV diadem, and presumably the same with the NASB and the CSB diadem as well. It would still take a little bit of an effort finding your place if you are using this Bible for preaching. Nonetheless, the size of this NRSVUe Diadem is perfect for preaching. This would fit well with your sermon manuscripts on the pulpit. And right after the book of Revelations, let me flip the pages here for you. We have one blank page, and here we have the weights, measures, and values. And then here we have the NRSV concordance. Honestly speaking, let me just read to you. The concordance in this NRSV reference Bible contains about 16,000 scripture references. Each word entry has a reference followed by a brief phrase showing the context in which each entry occurs. It does not, however, include every reference to common words and names such as God, Jesus, and Israel. When a word appears in successive verses, only the first reference has been given, and the rest will be found when the verse is looked up. The presentation of the concordance here is way excellent. Honestly speaking, I like this NRSV concordance. Besides on how it is laid out, the information here is a lot. It is fascinating on how detailed they are in their concordance. What do I mean? Just take a look on how thick this concordance is. Well, this thick. And after the concordance, we have Cambridge maps. We have 15 Cambridge maps printed on glossy paper. And after the Bible, here we have the end sheet and the end cover. The NRSV Diadem definitely has a very different reading experience, besides having quite a number of an upgrade from the popular text edition. In preaching, having a really good set of reference notes is rather important. I would find myself using this more because of that. Nonetheless, the NRSV popular text still has a special place for devotional reading. The translation itself is already an excellent one, being part of the formal equivalence translation philosophy spectrum and being recommended actually for seminary use by some of the professors and teachers of the Bible. I just found out that this NRSVUe Diadem has an Oxford Hollow. Let me just show that to you. The Oxford Hollow is what protects the spine and the space that you see in between. Well, that's not any construction problem. That is a design that protects the curvature of the Bible. And I just have a side comment here, which I think some would find annoying, that there are parts of the paper that feels rather lumpy, especially when you are in the apocryphal section of the book. For me, it's okay, but some would find it kind of annoying that there is a lumpy feeling in some of the pages here. Other than that, I find that the quality of work put here is very consistent. I have been flipping the pages, making sure that the print quality is top-notch, and it sure is. Cambridge always make their diadems really good, and this NRSV diadem is actually an upgrade from the NRSV updated edition, the NRSVUe popular text. One thing that I would like to share in this video is that I wasn't able to share what I wasn't able to share when I reviewed the popular text edition. Here in the third paragraph, 1, 2, 3, here in the third paragraph, it talked about this NRSVUe being free from any gender biases. And also down at the bottom, and also why there is an update of the NRSV. Now let me just read to you certain lines here. The NRSVUe extends the new revised standard version purpose to deliver an accurate, readable, up-to-date, and inclusive version of the Bible. It also continues the work of offering a version as free as possible from the gender bias inherent in the English language, which can obscure earlier oral and written renditions. The NRSVUe, like the NRSV, follows in the tradition of the King James Bible, introducing such changes as are warranted on the basis of accuracy, clarity, euphony, and current English usage, as literal as possible, as free as necessary. NRSV's preface to the reader. As also stated in the NRSV preface, the Bible's message must not be disguised in phrases that are no longer clear or hidden under words that have changed or lost their meaning. It must be presented in language that is direct and plain and meaningful to people today. And also, section here on why an update. The NRSV has been called the most accurate of English language translations based on the available manuscript evidence, textual analysis, and philological understanding. In the more than 30 years since its first publication, hundreds of ancient manuscripts have been studied in exacting detail. The NRSVUe is informed by the results of this research. Laboring through this material, has deepened scholarly insight into Jewish and Christian sacred texts and advanced understanding of ancient languages. With new textual evidence, historical insights, and philological understandings, which include exploring the meaning of ancient texts in light of the cultures that produced them, the NRSVUe brings greater precision in interpreting scriptures today. The goal of these practices has been to translate the ancient texts as accurately as possible while reflecting the cultural differences across time and conditions. Such a translation approach permitted the editorial committee to present their text as literally as possible and as freely as necessary. What can I say about this Bible? What can I say about this Bible? A perfect size NRSV updated edition. Cambridge added another great Bible in the Diadem series with this translation. And now, for the NRSVUe fans out there, consider this. This would be worth every penny you got. An excellent day-to-day Bible, devotion and study, and also for preachers and pastors who uses the NRSVUe. So what you have here, a really good preaching Bible. Details on where you can purchase will be posted right at the description box of this video. And once again, also buy our book, Josephology. Keep calm, Jesus on, keep safe, and God bless. Again, this is Christopher Nino Arca of the Seed of God Ministry signing off. See you again for another Bible review, only here in our Bible review program.